It's a nice day, so I'm starting this video outside. But hello. It is... I don't know what day it is. What day is it? Tuesday. And today, we're going to do what I've been watching. It's music. Watching this month. So yeah, let's get into the video. I have nothing else to say. So jump cut now. We're now inside. Lovely. Because we're not going to do the whole video outside because of the sound wise. So yeah, not too much compared to what I've been watching over like the last month or the month before, but still there's some stuff in here that I want to talk about. Well, that's what I do on the chat. That's what I do on this channel, innit? So I'm going to go over the two films that I've seen that I don't own on Blu-ray first, and then I'll get into the Blu-ray stuff next. So first film I saw when I was home, I saw a film called Ava, which is about a assassin, a contract killer who wants to go home to sort some family issues, but she's a bit unorthodox in the way that she does things, as she asks the victims what they did, and she's seen as a loose cannon, and it's just following her family issues and trying to deal with them, along with trying to thwart an assassination attempt. It came out last year, 2020. It was alright. It was better than I expected it to be. I did like the ending as well. I did kind of leave it open for a sequel. It might have a sequel, but it might be like Salt, where it doesn't get a sequel. Either way, I think it was a nice little film, nice little ambiguous ending. I've quite enjoyed that. And the second was Zack Snyder's Justice League. Oh. Personally, people are probably going to turn off and be like, oh shit. I really liked it. I think it really improves the original Justice League film. The original Justice League film I did not like. I did not want to see it. I went to the cinema on the first weekend it came out. I did not want to see it again. Mainly because it just really undid all of the work that had been done before with like BVC and Man of Steel. So it just felt just shit. I did not like it. It just felt lost and didn't really fit. It just Josh Whedon's forced comedy on scenes just made it feel like, I don't know, I just really didn't like it. But then the Justice League Snyder Cut, I feel like, was a great film. I feel like it really improved on the characters. I feel like it made it feel like a more coherent film. It made it feel like things were happening for a reason, where instead of it was just like in the Whedon cut, it felt like it was just Batman said we do this, so we do it. And then yeah, so I really liked it. I really liked the interaction with our characters. It didn't focus too much on humour, which made the actual jokes funnier in my opinion, but comedy is subjective. Yeah, people didn't like it, but hey ho, people don't like films in general, but I personally really liked it, and I would generally like to see one more Snyder film to just round it all off. I will say it here though. Jared Leto's Joker Jared Leto should not be allowed redemption for his problems in Suicide Squad. He's a problematic person in general, and I just think his impression of the Joker is awful. He can't even laugh. Like, that's like one of the key elements that the Joker should be able to do, and he can't even laugh. It just sounds like a weird aching, wheezing noise in my opinion. The dialogue came off a bit cringe as well. But yeah, not really for me. But hey ho. So after that big rant about Justice League, I'm sorry, but yeah. Yeah, after that. But also, I watched, if you've seen my review, I have watched all of the episodes that are in this box set. So this is the Doctor Who Season 8 box set from the collection range. Like I said, I watched all of these on the lead up to this on DVD, and then I watched them again on this. Love this season. I think it's really great. I love the continuation from series 7 to 8. I love all the stories in here. Probably my least favourite is Colony in Space, but I'm not saying it's a bad story. I do really like the story, but I just feel like the other episodes just have a slight edge over it. Yeah, pretty good box set. If you want to see more of my in-depth thoughts about everything, there'll be a link in the description for the collection. Want my thoughts and reviews of this box set. But yeah, this was a really good series. Excited to see what comes later in the line for more collections, and more excited to get to the season 24 box set when that comes out. Gonna do the same as I did last time. But yeah, next I watched Shin Godzilla again. This is like the 4th time I've watched this now. I really like this film. People say it's a bit like fast paced, and you can get a bit lost as there's a lot to take in. So yeah, you do need to see it on multiple viewings to really soak in what is happening with with the politicians and stuff like that. But the sequences with Godzilla himself, fantastic. This is a freaky film in my opinion. I really like this film. I feel like it's probably the closest film we've ever had as like a remake or close to the original film. Like that essence that it tries to capture. It's really great. Some of the imagery that copies like from the typhoons and the nuclear meltdowns that happened in Japan over the last like 15 years. It's fantastic. I feel like it really paints this very harrowing image of what nuclear waste, nuclear arsenal can do to the planet, and I just really like it. Godzilla's design, it can be a bit goofy in times, mainly the eyes, people don't really like, but at the same time I really like what they were going for, because he's not like standard Godzilla, he's like a scar of the planet, and he's like this nuclear mutated creature. Like he looks similar to the original Godzilla, whereas he has to look mildly different as well, which is great. Great film, really enjoy it. I love the political angle as well. It feels really great. It feels really fast paced and really all over the place, like the thick of it, but more serious in my opinion. But yeah, this is a really good film. I really like this. I highly recommend this. Probably it is in my top 5 Godzilla films of all time. Next, actually, the director of Shin Godzilla actually did the special effects on this film as well. And I've seen this before. I've seen this quite a lot of times. But and that's Gamera Guardian of the Universe. I watched this with my mate, who we're both massive kaiju fans, and we always talk about Godzilla and all that. And I always wanted to show him the Gamera film, so I showed him. We sat online and we watched this, and yeah, he really liked it, which is great. And I have grown to appreciate this film more and more with the more rewatches I watch it. I've watched this about 6 times now. Love this film. It's a great way to kick off the Heisei trilogy. I can't wait for when we watch Gamera 2, Attack of Legion. Fantastic. Like I say, the pacing is fantastic. This also has the writer of the Reanimator, Ghost in the Shell. If you're into that, anime, that's fantastic. And yeah, the special effect, it says it on the back here, special effects director actually went on to co-direct Shin Godzilla, which I love that fact. And you can see it kind of in some of the imagery and that is used between both of the films, which is great. Yeah, I honestly, for kaiju fans and people that want a more serious Gamera film, I cannot recommend the Heisei trilogy enough. It's fantastic. I love this film. They only improve more as the series goes on. But yeah, fantastic film. I love it. I could talk about this for ages. And it came with a nice box set. I always want to show this off because it is one of my favourite. It is one of my favourite releases that Arrow have ever done. Speaking of Arrow Video, the only other one I watched this month was Flowers in the Attic. I got this last month. Finally sat down and watched it, and yeah, I was really surprised. It's a very good psychological horror. The 4 kids that we follow throughout the film, they're fantastic. I love the relationship between the 4 of them. They're really great. Also, in this, the grandmother, oh god, isn't she a bastard? She's a bastard woman. Oh mate, she's awful. But she's also Nurse Fletcher from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and she's fantastic in this as she's in that. Brilliant. She's a brilliant actress. She's fantastic. But yeah, felt really sorry for the kids. I love the setting. The music in this is brilliant. The score was fantastic. Yeah, I just really like this. I would highly recommend this film. It's probably one of the coolest Arrows that I've seen in quite a while. It definitely gets an honourable mention for like top 15 favourite Arrow videos that I've watched. But this is great. The suspenseful angles, and the way that Mother treats the kids in the end is just, piss me right off. And I think it's Albert, the little boy. Absolute hero. He's an absolute little saint. He's brilliant. I love him. He's a great little actor. Highly recommend watching Flowers in the Attic if you get the chance. On to the Second Sight films now. I've watched 2 of them this month. I picked this up last year, but I finally got around to watching it, and I'm happy I did. And that is Reanimator. This was really, really good. This was a charming body horror film. I can't believe I'm saying it's charming because it really is charming. The guy who plays Herbert West is how he pronounces himself when he goes into him. Fantastic. He's a bit creepy to begin with, but I grew to love him so much throughout this film, and I love the main actor he becomes friends with and housemates with. Dan Kane, yeah. Well, Dan is the guy's name, but they have a great relationship. It's really good. I love all the body horror stuff. It's fantastic. I just think give this a watch because It was really funny. Oh, just it was great. I was meaning to watch this for years because I saw the review of it on Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. A lot of the films that are in my collection are because I've watched Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. But yeah, this is fantastic. The transfer looks great. Second Sight did a fantastic job doing this. And now I want to watch the 2 sequels. I've heard the 2 sequels aren't the best, but they're both on Arrow Video, so you know me, I love me Arrow videos, so I happily watch them. But yeah, definitely watch this if you're looking for a great time, because this is fun. The other Second Sight film, as I said last month, I was going to watch some more John Carpenter films, and that's what I did. I watched Assault on Precinct 13, and this was great. This has got a lot of stuff that John Carpenter would adapt into his later films, but it was a great little action film. There was a very shocking scene involving an ice cream truck. If you've seen this, you know exactly what scene it is. I did not expect that to happen. But yeah, this is great. I love the characters. I love the main... I don't know what his rank was. I can't remember his name because I watched it at the beginning of the month. But he was fantastic. I loved this guy as well. The guy's always asking for a smoke. He was great as well. I like their chemistry together. You also have... What's-her-face, who would appear in Halloween, and the Fog. She's the one that gets strangled in the back of the car in Halloween. Can't remember her name, but she was great in this as well. I think the pacing, the music, again, you cannot fault the music in a John Carpenter film. He is one of the best, if not the best composer that's ever just gone to film. Well, no, bold statement, but I just think he is. He puts so much love and craft into it, and it's just, there's something about it. It really fit into this film. But yeah, if you can find the Second Sight release, I'd definitely recommend watching this to see like where he came from, and then you can see what was later adopted into like Halloween, Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, and all that stuff. But yeah, great film. It's fantastic. Brilliant. Also, again with the cover, that looks fantastic, especially with the black case. I can't deny how good it looks. And the transfer, fantastic. Now on to the 2... Well, they're not the 2 horror films. They're the other 2 films that aren't part of a label, but I literally watched this late last night. And it's another John Carpenter film, and this is The Fog on 4K. This was great. This was fantastic. Great cast. The setting was brilliant. Just everything about this was great. Again, with the pacing and the music. The music was so good. It just fit this so well. And also, I like the fog creatures. They were brilliant. The way that you didn't get to see them, it just built so much suspense. The pacing, just everything about this film was fantastic. The transfer looked incredible. I just can't fault. John Carpenter's my favourite director of all time, so I'm going to love every film that I've ever seen by him, because I haven't actually seen this film before. The other main ones of his that I haven't seen, well, actually main four, was this, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, and Christine, which I have 3 of those films. I don't have Christine on Blu-ray, but I will get that and watch that as well. But this was fantastic. I highly recommend picking up this Studio Canal if you live in the UK. Well, this is like the only way of getting it because it's done by Studio Canal, but I recommend this edition because it's fantastic. Comes with loads of extra features. Superb. It's just superb. It's only an hour and a half, so very short film. The pacing again is fantastic. Just John Carpenter, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with a John Carpenter film, in my opinion. The last film that I've seen, if you watch the pickup video, you know that I picked this up this month as well, but I have also watched this month, and that is Possum. This is a UK-based film. This was so good. So little actors, and the way we focus on Sean Harris's character is brilliant, and seeing the way he deals with his trauma as a child, it's just fantastic. He's just great. If you've ever seen Creep, he's the guy who plays Craig the Creep in that film. Fantastic method actor. It's fantastic. The possum puppet is creepy as hell, and the way you don't see it properly until a certain way through the film is fantastic. It's just gorgeous. The way it's shot in Suffolk and Norfolk really gives it such... For me, for someone who's grown up around that area, I just really relate and feel like I'm in this film. Like I know exactly like what this film is, and it feels so believable. It's fantastic. And the actor Alan Armstrong, he was great in this as well. He was in Sleepy Hollow. Brilliant. They have a really good working relationship with one another. They really play off each other quite well. He's a bastard as well. And then, yeah, some of the other people, there's not really literally any other cast members really, apart from a high school teacher who has a few lines, and then there's just people in the background. So, but yeah, definitely it's shot beautifully. It's very chilling. The uncanny valley is fantastic. Definitely one of the greatest small films. It feels like it was a very small budget films, but one of the best small budget films I've ever seen in my life. Fantastic horror film. I would highly recommend watching this film if you get the chance. Pick this up. I'm so glad to get this on Blu-ray. I want to watch it again. But that is it. That is all I have watched this month. Unfortunately, not a lot, but so it means the video is going to be shorter. But yeah, tell me some of the films that you've watched this month. I love to hear it. I love seeing what everyone's watched. Have you seen any of these films that you think are great? If you think that are bad, I reckon most of the people are going to talk about Justice League when they watch this film. When they watch this video, because that's probably the most controversial film that's come out over the last couple of years in it, but one of them anyway. Big blockbuster film, I would say. But yeah, cheers for watching this video. I hope you have a nice day. Go watch some films and all that. Peace, and yeah, like I said, have a great day. Bye!